up, Cinema Shogun here, and it's already that time again. Time for story time with Cinema Shogun. So everyone gather around the campfire, grab some snacks, grab a non-alcoholic beverage. We are keeping it sober over here for BAM, and get ready for the story of a lifetime. Now, where should I begin? Yes, I guess we should just take it from the top, right? Well, as most of you all know, the other day it was reported that BAM Margera was on the run from law enforcement. I saw this news and I immediately wanted to make a video on it because I grew up watching BAM Margera and I know that he's been going through a lot lately. Now, before I go any further in this video or any further with any other videos on BAM Margera, I want to make this one point clear right now. My intentions were never to look through this dude's life. My intentions were never to look at the interactions that he has with his family and his friends. My intentions were never to cross that line. The only thing that I wanted to do was report on the story at hand, that BAM was on the run from law enforcement. And that's what I did. And in my video, I expressed that I was really worried about BAM and that I hope he gets help. Now, for some reason, this stirred up a lot of hatred. I got a lot of hateful comments. I got a lot of hateful messages. I got people messaging me that you don't do your research. You have no idea what you're talking about. You never do research. You never know what you're talking about. I got people attacking my appearance, and people even tried to make fun of my clothes, which is really weird because if you've watched my channel, you know I'm one of the best dressed people on YouTube. And in comparison, BAM Margera has been wearing the same outfit for 2 months straight without washing it. I'm sure his clothes stink to high hell, but no one says anything about that. His fans are okay with him wearing stinky old outfits 24/7, but they have a problem with my wardrobe. So I find that really weird, but that's not the point, ladies and gentlemen. The point is, people told me that I don't do my research and that I need to do more research. And before I go further, let me make this clear. I shouldn't have to say this, but these comments are not directed at my loyal subscribers and followers and supporters. I have no problem with the people who are in my comments telling me, hey, Cinema, maybe you should go watch this video or check this out. There's nothing wrong with that. This is directed at the trolls who are attacking me and who continue to attack me because the Free BAM movement consists of a lot of trolls. Yes, there are normal people who want BAM to get okay within the movement, but most of these people are deranged weirdos, the same ones that I dealt with when it came to Britney Spears. Anyway, so I was told I need to do my research, but when I saw that, I immediately knew, like, hey, this is the last thing you all want me to do. Because it's not going to be pretty, and I don't think you all will like the outcome. But hey, I was egged on. I was basically forced into doing research. And I did some research. And I did real research. I didn't just go look at other people's opinions online. No, I did actual research of my own. Don't get me wrong, though. I stayed up all night last night until like 5 something in the morning watching constant videos. And boy, oh boy. Anyways, I wish I could get some of that sleep time back because most of it was a waste of my time. Anyways, I've been told to do the research. I didn't want to take it here, but let's go ahead and take it there. Yesterday, BAM Margera claimed that he was going to stop drinking, that he was going to quit and he was going to do it for his son. I was very proud of that, but I was very skeptical as well. Now, of course, the Free BAM movement, they're like, yeah, you see, this is evidence that BAM's okay and everyone's lying about his substance abuse issues. Well, after doing some quick, real research, I found that a woman posted a picture with BAM Margera last night at a bar. It's funny because a few hours before this photo was posted, he was telling his fans that he was going to quit drinking. Yet here he is right here in this photo at the bar. Now, I want to make myself clear. I haven't talked to the woman in the photo. I don't know where this photo was taken. But looking at the picture, I want you all to look at Bam Margera's thumb. What do you see on his thumb? That is the popped blister that he popped yesterday on Instagram, which confirms for me that this picture was taken last night. So last night, after promising everyone he's done drinking, he went straight out to the bar. Straight out to the bar. Now, people online are saying, I can't confirm this. I will be totally fair with my information. I can't confirm where this bar is. People are saying that it's in New Jersey. Now, one small problem. If that's the case, Bam Margera is not supposed to leave Pennsylvania. So if he is indeed out drinking, partying in New Jersey, that's a problem, and it could put Bam Margera in jail. He was literally court ordered not to leave Pennsylvania. So when the Free Bam movement comes and they blame everyone else for Bam Margera getting in legal problems, I want you all to realize that Bam incriminates himself online every single day. And right here, he is showing that he is out drinking and possibly not even in Pennsylvania. Now, one thing I've also noticed from looking into some of the people who were leaving hateful comments on my various social media platforms, much of this Free Bam movement, it consists of people who don't even know who Bam Margera really is. It consists of people mainly who never watched Viva La Bam. They never watched Jackass. They never were invested in this dude's life, so they don't even know how this dude is. They do not know much about this dude's family dynamic. They claim they know so much about Bam and his situation, but in reality, they just watched a couple of YouTube videos and immediately spiraled out of control with theories. The reality is, I've been watching this dude since his rise to fame. From back in the day when he had skating VHS tapes that you would have to buy from local skate shops, or maybe your friend would have it in his backpack at school and you would watch it after school. So I've watched Bam Margera throughout the course of his career and life, and I know more about how he is as a person than most of these Free Bam people. Literally, the majority of these Free Bam people are just Free Britney people who could no longer spin wild conspiracies about Britney, so they went ahead and moved on to Bam Margera. They don't even know this dude from a can of paint. And when I say that, I mean like they never even watched this dude on TV. Now, of course, there are Free Bam people who have. You don't have to come in my comment section and let me know, oh, I watched Viva La Bam. Yeah, I get it, okay? I understand that it's not the case for everyone. Anyways, people have been telling me about this Lima lady. Lima this, Lima this, Lima that. And honestly, being from the South, I can't help but want to call her Lima Bean. I can't help it. I just want to call this lady Lima Bean. Now, I agree with what people say, that it seems like some of her practices are really shady, right? The VR stuff, that freaks me out. A lot of that Hollywood rehab stuff freaks me out. You know, I always refer back to that one message that Kanye West got from his personal trainer, telling him that he will basically have him looped out on medications and stuff. So yeah, I don't trust a lot of these people. But one thing that is important to note, the Free Bam movement have turned this lady into public enemy number one. I'm not here to defend her. I'm not even here to talk about her. One thing I did find interesting, though, that in one of these interviews with Bam Margera, he literally says, and I quote, that he loves Lima to death. Everyone's telling me, hey, you got to watch these interviews. So I watched them. And Bam Margera is a complete train wreck in those interviews. Look at Bam Margera's face when he showed up to the first one. Look at his eyes. Those are the eyes of someone who's strung out and has been awake for like a week straight. Okay? That's not the eyes of someone that's sober. That's the eyes of someone who is knocking on death's door, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry that you all are too stupid to see it sometimes. Anyways, I watched part 2 of the interview. The dude literally says that he loves Lima to death. Another thing that I have been seeing, people have been constantly attacking Bam Margera's mother in my comments and on social media. Now, mind you, I know most of these people don't even know April. They don't know the type of person that she is. I've watched April for years, and I always thought that she was a really sweet lady. Okay? I don't think April, Bam's mother, is a monster. Maybe she is capable of being swayed in certain directions that some people disagree with, but the fact that people are bashing her and making her out to be some type of demon, that's not true. In fact, Bam Margera himself in the interview says that his mom doesn't know about all of this stuff that's going on that the Free Bam movement is putting out there. Bam Margera himself says he loves his mom, and his mom is innocent in that, and she doesn't know all of that stuff. So instead of taking the word of random trolls online, I'll take the word of Bam, who says that he loves Lima to death and that his mom has nothing to do with all of this. He literally tried to make that shit clear. I mean, he is, going off the rails, and he was very obviously under the influence during that interview. That is blatantly obvious. Like, it blows my mind right now that people wanted me to see this as if this was an example to show me that Bam's okay, and that in reality it's everyone else's fault, and that there's this big conspiracy where everyone in Bam's life is out to get him, when in reality the interview shows that Bam is out to get himself. Bam doesn't even view these people as a threat. Bam loves his mom, and at the end of the day, he always will. Okay? So Bam's mom is not this big enemy that y'all are making her out to be. In fact, after doing real research, I don't believe that his family is really out here trying to destroy this dude's life. I think his family actually cares about him, and I think some of his family are fed up after years of dealing with Bam's nonsense. You all have to remember, what happened here is you guys watched a couple of YouTube videos and you got your panties up in a bunch about Bam not being free. Bam literally admits in the interview part 2 that he is free. And you guys have pointed the fingers at all of these people, when in reality, I think they've been dealing with Bam and his issues for years and years on end. And now they are kind of at their boiling point. They're at their tipping point. They have had enough. So we have a lot of people who just came into the situation, know nothing about the situation. They've watched a few videos online, and now they feel like they have the right to attack this dude's family. That is not okay. That is downright disgusting, and I don't believe that his family has anything to do with all of the wild stuff that people are saying. And I've done the research, I've watched the videos, I've looked into Bam, and that is blatantly clear. And Bam himself doesn't have a problem with his mom. He says he loves Lima to death, and he claims that he's free. Those are all very important things to point out that were all just included in this second part of this interview that you guys so desperately wanted me to watch because you claimed that it would prove me wrong. It has not proved me wrong. It has proved me right. In fact, watching it, I was laughing like, oh my God, this literally proves everything I think and everything I've said, and how people could see anything else or gather anything else from this is a complete mystery to me. I find it disgusting that whenever he would mention Stevo's sobriety, he would say it in a mocking tone, with a mocking voice. Clearly, it's as if he's downing Stevo for getting his life together. And by the way, through the research I've done, I don't believe that Stevo is out to get this guy either. This guy is destroying himself. And you all wanted me to do the research, and I've done the research, and it's not looking good for you all. It looks like a bunch of bogus BS if you ask me. I do believe that Johnny Knoxville and, I'm not going to speak so much on Johnny Knoxville because I need to look into that a little bit more. But as far as Stevo goes, Stevo's not out here to take advantage of Bam. Stevo's not out here as Bam's enemy. Stevo is a friend who has experienced everything that Bam is going through, and I think that he is trying desperately to get Bam to wake up and to stop doing what he's doing. Through my research, I've seen that Stevo's gone out of his way. He's bent over backwards to try to show Bam that he could have a better life and that he could be successful and still be out here doing things without having to be this wild, drunk. But it is what it is. I also find it funny that in this interview, once again, he goes on rants multiple times about wanting to beat people up, threatening to punch them and fight them. And that right there in itself is another thing that is incriminating that will send him straight to jail or will be used against him. Now, throughout the process of this interview, at one point he reveals that he likes to out cigarettes on himself. I kid you not. People are trying to tell me, hey, this dude is okay. Everyone else is setting him up. It's all a big conspiracy. Everyone's lying about how drunk he is. Everyone's lying about how high he is. Everyone's lying about him going on rampages, beating people up and threatening people. It's everyone else's fault. It's not Bam's fault. But yet Bam here in this interview is literally talking about outing cigarettes on himself. He says he smokes cigarettes and just puts them out on his hand. And his hand is filled with scabs, burn marks, you name it. It looks like a junkie's hands. Now, point me, please. You all feel like you can explain everything away. You all feel like you got an answer for everything. Why is it okay for this dude to put out cigarettes on his own body? How is that normal? Does that not look like self-destructive behavior? The dude is taking cigarettes and admittedly putting them out on his hand. That is self-destructive behavior. If you really value and care about yourself, 9 times out of 10, you're not outing cigarettes on your own body and causing damage to your own body. That should show you that he doesn't necessarily care about himself. That should show you that he is a harm to himself. What are we going to do now? Are we going to blame Jess? Are we going to claim that, it's April and Phil's fault that Bam put cigarettes out on his hand? No, stop blaming everyone else. It is Bam. Bam is the root of this problem, and that is blatantly clear. And boy, oh boy, I am glad that I listened to you all and I did the research, because boy, oh boy, am I right. It confirmed everything that I already knew. You can sit online and try to gaslight people into thinking that this stuff is okay. And you can gaslight people into thinking that, this person's to blame and that person's to blame. Bam Margera is to blame. Bam Margera is 100% to blame here. Now, speaking of hands, we're speaking of hands, right? I talked earlier about how Bam had this blister on his finger. I wonder where that came from, right? He popped the blister yesterday. You can see the popped blister in the photo of him out at the bar after he claimed that he stopped drinking. Well, he claims that he was at a hotel, right? And that he burned his thumb on the stove. I looked into this hotel, ladies and gentlemen, talking about research, right? People like research, right? Well, you're not going to like the real research, ladies and gentlemen. Bam Margera says that he got a blister on his thumb because he accidentally put his thumb on a stove and burned it. A lot of people seem to believe that it came from a pipe and that he was smoking something. Anyways, he claims that he burned his finger in this hotel room. So I found the hotel that Bam was staying at. I'm not going to list it here because you people are weird and you like harassing people like you all have been harassing me. I found the hotel that Bam was staying at. Guess what? There's not a single stove in any room in that hotel. Let that sink in. Bam says he has burns on his hand because he burned his hand on a stove, right? On a stove at the hotel he was staying in with his girlfriend, right? He literally said that yesterday. Found the hotel, looked into the hotel, got views of the rooms. There's not a single stove in that hotel. So Bam lied about where that blister came from. And it's looking more likely that that blister came from him smoking pipes. What was in those pipes? I think we already know, but I don't want to say it. So there goes some real research, ladies and gentlemen. Are you liking this research yet? Probably not, because it literally contradicts everything that you all have been saying, and it proves that you all got this one so wrong. Now I know I will get people down in the comments below. Why are you doing this? Just leave Bam alone. It's none of your business. Why are you looking into things? But these same exact delusional people have been digging through Bam's life for months now. They've been attacking Bam's family members for no apparent reason at all. But then they will clutch their pearls. Cinema Shogun, why did you actually do research after we told you need to do research? You all challenged me to do my research, and I'm doing my research. And the fact is, y'all aren't going to like the outcome, because the outcome will be that Bam is responsible for his issues, and that a lot of this mess surrounding the situation is just that. It's mess. It's the Free Britney movement 2.0. A bunch of people who probably never even watched a single episode with Bam Margera in it, who have now found entertainment by pretending that they are here to liberate and to free Bam Margera when the dude is literally free, running around doing drugs and drinking as we speak. I call this Free Britney 2.0, but Bam's situation is so much different than Britney's. In fact, it's hard to believe that Britney has her stuff together way better than Bam does. Way better. But like I said, I didn't want to have to take it here. I just wanted to cover the fact that dude was running from law enforcement and that I hope he was okay, and then I was going to move on to other news stories. But I was challenged. Challenged, accepted. I don't think you all are going to like what comes next. Now, as far as Bam goes, by the time I woke up, this dude already had half a dozen new social media posts, and he's spiraling out again. He literally posted a photo earlier with a picture of his son in the photo and says that he will suck dick for tequila. So yeah, things aren't really going great over there on Bam's end, but hey, this is the person that people want to convince the world that, oh, Bam is not to blame for all of this. Everything is everyone else. Man, the brother set him up, the mom set him up, this lady set him up, that person's setting him up, you're setting him up, we're all doing this, they're all doing that. No, the dude is off his rocker and on stuff, literally on here, after saying he quit drinking, talking about giving people blowjobs in exchange for tequila under a picture of his son. This dude is not okay. And what we're not going to do is, we're not going to sit here and demonize this dude's family as they try to get him help. Now, Lima, she's a whole nother story. Because through my research, and I'm not done doing research. You guys challenged me. Oh boy, I will sink into this story like a pit bull. I won't let loose. By the way, I have two lovely pit bulls. Anyway, okay. So as far as Lima goes, or Lima Bean, I think we are basically kind of all on the same page when it comes to her. I don't trust her. But as far as the family, nah. I don't believe all of this nonsense that people are spewing. I've looked into it. There are some things that from the outside looking in, you might be like, oh no. And there are things that you may disagree with that his family has done. And I understand that. But what you are looking at here, folks, you are looking at a family who feels as if they have run out of options. They don't know what to do for Bam anymore. They've been dealing with Bam and his toxic ways for years, and in many ways, they're responsible for creating this monster. If you all ever watched a single episode of Viva La Bam, then you all would know how they enabled wild behavior from him throughout his entire life. But then again, the Free Bam movement mainly consists of people who never watched Viva La Bam at all. The only reason they're interested in Bam Margera is because they're interested in turning this into another drama movement like the Britney movement that turned out to be a complete sham. Yes, the Free Britney movement was a complete sham, and it looks like this Free Bam movement is basically the same exact thing. So, I don't agree with all of this bashing of his family. We are witnessing, and I know a lot of you all people may not realize that because maybe you haven't seen things like this play out before, but we're witnessing a family that doesn't know what to do anymore. They're trying to save their son. And I think they are willing to do anything and maybe accept help from anybody, maybe even unknowingly accept help from people who are shady because they're running out of options here. It's either Bam dies or they try to do whatever they can. And from the looks of it and from what I've seen, they've been trying for so long to get Bam help. But like y'all say, you can't force someone to get help. But as a family member, as a mother, as a father, as a brother, it's very difficult to expect someone to sit by and watch as their loved one slowly dies in front of them. And ladies and gentlemen, don't let the Free Bam movement fool you. Use your own eyes. Look at Bam for yourself. Bam is dying right in front of all of us. And hopefully we can stop that from happening. But it's not going to be stopped if he has all of these people in his corner encouraging him to continue wilding out. With that being said, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video. I guess it's time to go do some more research.